How did you get into rap music? What age were you?
Man, well, the first CD I ever bought, rap CD I bought was when I was 15. But I think around that time, but I couldn't really listen to rap growing up. You know, I was from the South, what we call the Bible Belt. My parents was really into the church, so, and I was bad as ever, so they just didn't buy me no rap. I kind of heard it at like parties and stuff, but I didn't get my first CD till I think I bought DMX, Flesh of My Flesh, Blood of My Blood.
Mm. And he's got some raw imagery on there.
Yeah, that's why I got it. That's why I got it. You know what I'm saying? But I tricked my mom because I was like, was I still at the crib or not? But he said a prayer. And I kind of just played it a prayer like, Mom, this is a good artist right here. I'm trying to tell you. So now, that's kind of my introduction.
Now, this was the time when, like, there were parental advisory stickers on CDs and stuff like that. Right. Were you allowed to buy a parental advisory? You know, was that the parental advisory edition or was that the edited version?
I mean, I can't remember. I can't remember either I played it for my mom or I was already at my mom's house. I forgot how I got it, but I know I got it. I know I was like my first CD I actually had to. You know what? I probably gave somebody some money to get me one. I think that's what I did.
Because lyrics were a big kind of deal back then. Like when DMX was coming out, Eminem was coming out, there was an uproar on his lyrics.
Right.
And Walmart at one point said, we're not carrying any explicit lyrics in the stores. And I got tricked one time because I had bought a CD and I wasn't paying attention. I bought the clean version. I forget which album, but.
Right.
So it was tricky back then. But I was just curious on that. Now, as far as influences, musical influences, did you have any growing up?
Well, you know, like I said, I grew up on like the blues, like gospel, jazz, different things of that nature. But my first favorite rapper was Mystical. That was the first rap I heard, like, oh, bruh, cold. You know what I'm saying? Like, bruh, cold. So Mystical was like, I thought he was like the greatest thing since sliced bread. And then after that, I think I never wanted to rap because I was such a prolific athlete. I never wanted to be a rapper. I'm going to the league. I ain't thinking about y'all. Y'all can rap. Y'all can rap all y'all want to in this motherfucker. But you know what I mean. So I never thought about rapping. But it was just like once I got kicked out of school, I was so mad. And my partner, like, I had to move because I got kicked out of school and got kicked out of the house. So I was around like 15, so I went to stay with my best friend. You know, my best friend crib was cracking though. We had cars, weed, studio, video game, clothes. You know what I mean? We doing kick those. You know what I'm saying? Getting all type of stuff. So that was like my introduction. When I got kicked out of school, that's when I really started taking it serious. Or really like honing in on it because I always was winning battle raps in school, but I always thought I'm still going to the league. I'm not being a rapper. I just better than y'all. And then, when I got kicked out of school, it was just like I just wrote about my frustrations, and that's kind of how I got really, really good.
Did you ever end up meeting Mystical?
Yeah, I met Mystical at the airport one time. So it was cool, but I don't think he don't really know he didn't know the magnitude of who I was at the point. Probably not, but he don't know probably one of like the dopest Southern lyricists ever.
Now, how many years would you say you've been perfecting your craft for at this point?
I would say like 12 years, 15 years. Like, cause I always like I used to use rap to help me learn how to read. Like, I used to just use vocabulary words and use different words to just kind of help my diction because I used to read slow growing up. So that's the only reason I rap was like to write poems and like help myself learn how to read. But then as I started getting good, people started offering me a shitload of money. So I was just like, okay, I need to take this serious.
12 years is quite a long time.
Yeah.
Were there ever points you thought about quitting?
No. I know because you know, with me, rap was never about money. It was always about like respect or like who thought I was dope. You know what I mean? Like the people who think I'm dope, I care less who don't think I'm dope. You know what I mean? Because the people who think I'm dope is like, you people praise them. So I always just did it for fun. But now I think I'm at a point in my life where I'm on a mission. Like I was doing it for myself at first, but now I'm doing it for a larger cause. So I think now I'm taking it a lot more serious. Not saying I didn't take it serious at the beginning, but also, once, Kanye asked me to come write, I kind of could make a living off writing. But then now I'm like, okay, now I got my, my foundation set, I kind of got myself taken care of. I kind of want to do stuff for my family and different individuals who, feel like my music is therapeutic. Yeah.
Now, do you remember your first rap or what you were rapping about back then, 12 years ago?
Oh, man. Man, let me tell you something crazy, though. I'll tell y'all a story. So I'm rapping. I used to just be rapping records because I was just trying to figure out how to rap. It wasn't about if I did it or not did it. You know what I mean? So, rest in peace. I had an OG. We was from the suburbs, but we still we still sold our little weed. You know what I mean? Did our little thing. So, I mean, one time we was in the studio just rapping. And, he used to be a rapper, but he's just a straight gangster at this point. So, funny that he's such a gangster, but he playing video games. But he is a killer, this dude I'm talking about. So you understand the magnitude of this. So he just sitting on the couch playing the video game. Like, we in the back, like, we in the garage rapping, so we in the studio behind him. We serving this, nigga serving that, nigga shoot you in your cap. Nigga, what? Everybody just going berserk on the song. This nigga like, I think one of my partners said something outrageous, like I served 100 bricks in 30 seconds, some shit, right? My OG he said, hold on. He said, everybody pull their pistols out. So my partner, he didn't count because he always it was his house, so he's, his old man and people keep joints there. But he pulled his joint out. He go to my other partner, he said, where your pistols? He said, he ain't got one. He said, where yours at? He asked my other partner, you ain't got one, because I'm at a group in this time. He asked my other partner, where your pistols at? So I had a little joint, you know what I mean? I was like not the dude he expected to have a joint on him. So I just up my joint, like, hey, I got a little something. He said, all right, if you ain't got no pistol, I don't want to hear you rapping about it. Everybody pull out they dope. So my partner pull out a little soft, you know what I mean? My other partner, 2 partners ain't got nothing, 3 partners. Me, again, I end up having a couple bags of weed. He said, nigga, if you ain't rapping about weed, I don't want to hear you rapping about nothing you ain't doing. None of y'all. I'm tired of y'all in this motherfucking rapping. And y'all ain't did none of this shit. And that shit was a rude awakening to me, bruh. We was young, we was 13, 14. I thought this was like everybody do. So since then, I only rapped about what I did or what I was, close to or what I was, accessible to. So that was a real lesson in rap from my OG. He was a killer. He just got tired of us hearing all these street raps that we wasn't doing, so.
If that was an analogy today, that would be crazy.
Exactly.
Wow.
That's how thorough of a dude I grew up around. You couldn't rap about nothing you ain't did.
Now, when you're in the studio, top 3 things you need in the studio.
Top 3 things I need in the studio. Dutch Masters, look for the little Keisha, a ginger ale, and
one more.
The word of God. Just God gotta be in the room.
What strain of marijuana?
I'm a traditional medicinal guy, so I only do Kush, OG. That's it.
Now, what does smoking do for you exactly in the studio?
Well, I'm a rapid thinker, so my mind moves like this, like when I'm not smoking. So when I smoke, I can just kind of see the thoughts, like tick, 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 tick. So they kind of stay in front of my eyes a little longer. Like when I'm thinking of all these raps, so many words going through my mind, I have to slow it down to kind of catch the ones I want. Catch them. Other words, it just go. So I think that's what it does. It just slows my mind up a little bit so I can catch the words that I want to use.
Do you record music sober also?
No, sir. I haven't recorded any music sober for since I was about 12 years ago, 15 years ago, when I was a little boy.
Craziest studio story that you could share if you have one?
Man, craziest studio story? Jeezy Weezy. Jeezy Weezy.
12 years, quite a long time.
Yeah, you know, it's crazy. My studio stories aren't that like, because I don't really like have a lot of people at the studio with me.
More of a loner type?
I mean, I got faced off in the booth one time. I like got some head at Tree Sound while I was rapping my verse. I think that was my biggest.
As you're rapping?
Yeah, and you know what's the crazy? I met the chick at Tree Sound. Like I had just walked in, and you know, it's this chick, and she was there with another session, and we just got to talk about music, or somehow then she just ended up coming back to the back where I was at. We get to talk about music, but she just extra friendly, and I had to like give everybody the look like.
Now you're still recording as this is happening?
No, so what happened was I go in the booth. Like I go, as I'm recording, I go in the booth, and she comes, knocks on the booth. And like, can I come in with you? So I'm like, now she like kind of getting on my nerve, and I'm like, okay, what's up, shawty? And then she just started feeling on me, and then, you know, she just started doming me off, and I was finishing my verse, and I couldn't make it through it. But
is the session over after that?
No, I actually went back to finishing the song. I mean,
did you ever use that record? Has that been published, that record? Is
man, I don't remember the record, but it definitely was on Royal Flush too. So, you know.
Now, your recording process,
Uh-huh.
what's that like? Are you writing, pen and pad, maybe on the phone, or are you freestyling, punching in?
No, I'm writing. I'm a writer. You know, I'm infatuated with writing. I'm infatuated with knowing what I'm saying. Like, I know a lot of people just come off and say what's on their mind. Like,
that's the new generation of rap.
Yeah. It's like, I have to make sure what I'm saying is truthful. I have to make sure what I'm saying and I want to represent. I have to make sure what I'm saying, if I wrote it at 21, I can still rap it at 35 or 40 or when I'm going on tour when I'm old. You know what I'm saying? I can still like, Earth, Wind & Fire shit still just jam like it did when they was 19. You know what I'm saying? So they still get in the bag. So I think that's what I wanted to do. I always want to make sure what I'm saying is correct because I want them to look at us like kings and queens, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want them looking at us a bunch of dumb niggas in rap. No, this one of the most solid niggas you ever met. Praise God.
From start to finish, what's the average time you spend on a song?
That depends. Some songs may take me 3-4 months.
Wow.
Like sometimes we just, like a lot of times I'm a brainstormer. Like we talk about records for months before we even record them. You know what I'm saying? Like that's why it's so detailed because I done motherfucking really sat down with it and really pieced it together. So, I mean, I can do songs like shorter than that. Sometimes songs coming together in 30 minutes. But then some of mine might take 4 or 6 months. We might just work on them for the whole year until we just like it how we, you know, get to the point where we think it's perfect.
What's the most songs you recorded in one studio session?
I mean, I probably did about 6, 7. I've done that. I mean, on like a 12-hour block type, you know what I mean, situation. I done ran through some. But then there's been times where, like, when I was, I mean, that's probably younger. Y'all probably don't know about CyHi back then. But there's been times where, you know, I would probably be at home and pre-write like 10 songs and then just go in there and just lay them all at one time. So, you know, it depends.
How do you deal with writer's block? That moment where you get stuck on an idea, stuck in the middle of a song, can't finish it. How do you get through that?
You know, it's crazy. I really don't have writer's block like that. Because you know, I have writer's block when I don't have a concept to write about. Once I have a concept, I can just all day long. So my thing is like, once I have the concept, I can go. That's why it'd be hard for me to do features. Because like some of these concepts, I just can't even relate to in so many words. So.
And I always wondered that about recording artists, rappers. Like when you're in a studio with a feature, is there that pressure or that peer pressure maybe to finish something that you don't really, you're forcing things?
I mean, if they pay you a bag, then, you know, some dude's gonna do it and just get it out the way. I mean, depending on how much, you know, what it is, but a lot of times I just be like, I asked him to send me another record or something like that. You know what I mean? That, you know, give me a few to choose from where I could kind of just catch a vibe.
But if there wasn't a bag involved, let's say you run up to meet somebody at a show and they're like, CyHi, let's get in the studio tonight and just record. And I mean, is there that pressure? Like, we're waiting for you to finish this feature.
I mean, nah, because I could just finish a verse, but I just be wanting to be right. You know, some joints I do just to get out of there, but at the same time, most of my features is like I want to be right. So I let them know it's gonna take me, give me a nice 6 hours, just in case I could just go over and make sure I really like it before I leave.
You said some records take 3 to 4 months. What's the longest you worked on a song, put it down, and ended up finishing it? What's the length of time?
I mean, probably like 4 months, 6 months. I mean, because a lot of songs be finished, I just might hear a different line or something I want to kind of change up and might go back and change it like 6 months later. You know what I mean? I've been riding around to it done for the past, you know what I mean? So it just, it depends.
Writing your lyrics down, have you ever lost some of those lyrics? Have you ever lost a notepad? Has that happened before?
Yeah, absolutely. I lost a few notepads. Shoot, I got some notepads on my mom's house that'll change another rapper career. Just kidding, shit. My mama got some joints, boy. You might want to pull up on her.
Do you ever go back on old notepads and dig something out from the past, or is you just going with the flow and vibing as you experience things?
I mean, I retain a lot of information too, so most of the stuff that I probably have the same. It's probably been on my mind, or I probably still remember some of it. But if I need to, I read a few of them that I might be like, oh, I can keep that line or something.
Have you ever lost something that was crucial that could have been a pivotal record for you, and it's
a
totally
girlfriend? No, I just messing with you. No, I never. Have I ever lost some records?
Yeah, something that was just like.
I almost did. My hard drive crashed one time. One of my other assistants snatched it off the table and it fell, and I lost like three, 4 records, but it wasn't like no major records.
Now, I'm sure you come across a variety of beats. Has there been any beat that you received that you passed on that became a bigger record for somebody else? Something that was for you?
No. Well, one time, man, I love Mike Will, though. Shout out to Mike Will. We got into a little argument because one time I got the beat that 2 Chainz had for him and Drake back in the day.
Oh, I know what record you're talking about.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I forgot the name of it, but I know what
Yeah, so I played it for, it's the funny thing, I wanted to get 2 Chainz on it. So I sent him 2 Chainz, like, man, how you get this beat? This is my beat. I'm like, dang, Mike Will gave it to me. Then Mike called me like, man, I told you not to get that beat. I was like, dang, Mike, I'm sorry, bro. It was just so dope. You gave it to me on the CD. I had it on the CD. I forget how I got it. But it was a super dope beat, so.
Now that's crazy. You actually wanted Chainz on it, and he already.
He already had it. He was about to send it to Drake. So it came up, no lie.
No lie, that's it.
No lie.
Yep, that's it. There you go. Now, what's the realest song you ever wrote so far in your whole catalog of music that's been released that somebody can go stream right now if they wanted to?
I would probably say the self-titled track, Sedalia.
And what's that about for somebody that's not
my name is Sedalia, and it's just a lot of people, people hear me and I got these dope raps, but they don't really know like my story, where I'm from. So that song will kind of sum up where I get a lot of my material from and why I think the way I think and different things like that.
Risk versus reward. What's the biggest risk you took for your music career so far? 12 years.
Shit, man. Being shot at, penitentiary chances. Them the 2 biggest. Leaving my mama's house at 15. Dropping out of school at 15. Yeah. Blood, sweat, and tears, that was like my biggest risk. Everything else was like not a risk to me. You know what I mean? Like rapping for Kanye or some shit. Like that wasn't a real risk. That was just like, there was a piece of cake out there, everything I had went through.
Was it worth it?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I had to because I wouldn't be able to touch the souls that I touch if I didn't go through what I went through. I mean, I went through it, bro. Like niggas trying to kill me for real. Like, and it's like even people that's close to you is trying to do you. You feel me? Just but it over rap though. Like this ain't on no street shit. Like niggas in jail, cause I done had $1 million contracts where, you know, the people that I'm with don't want me to sign them. You know what I mean? And it's a lot of threats and there's a lot of fist fights and blood and black eyes for this rap shit. Like niggas don't know my story prior to just meeting Kanye, but I've been signed to gangsters all my life, so a lot of things I went through, y'all wouldn't even understand it. You know what I'm saying? I didn't, like, people don't understand, like, I don't know if you remember the story with Jagged Edge. Kyle one time, one of the members from Jagged Edge, had a bunch of, you know, work in the crib. And we went and sat down for like 3 weeks behind that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't even ours, but we were just over there, you know, parlaying. But I'm in the studio, this for the studio, this for rap. You know what I mean? So shit was on the news and everything. Rest in peace, Bishop Eddie Long. But he bailed out like, it was about 8 of us. Bailed us all out, gave us all lawyers, everything. So got acquitted and everything. So that was a blessing. But yeah, I've been through a lot for rap.
Proudest accomplishment so far in your music career?
My proudest accomplishment?
At this point?
Probably Soul Paul, but my real proudest accomplishment is like, I know the 4 most powerful artists in the music industry, in my opinion. Beyonce, Rihanna, Drake. I mean, not Drake. I do know Drake, actually. Beyonce, Kanye West, and Jay-Z. So just, I get to go over their house. I get to play with the kids. Like, I'm at Easter. Like, you know what I'm saying? So a lot of my dreams, like, that's why I know that I'm on a mission, because a lot of my dreams that I always had, God just made them happen. And as soon as I got here, like, phew, as soon as you get in the music industry, there's your guy, this is who you wanted to meet, this is your favorite rapper, okay, meet him, because we got shit to do. So, yeah.
Biggest failure so far in your music career? Biggest flop?
Man, you know, I don't want to throw nobody under the bus, but signing with people that want to change you. You know what I mean? I think that was a big mistake of mine. Like, yeah, I like the label, everybody like me, but they wanted me to make this certain type of records where now my peers are thriving off the records that I was always trying to make. Like, they get budgets and everything to make that boom bap, hip hop, you know what I mean, real soulful, just real music, period. Down where I'm at, being from Atlanta, you know, they want me to trap it out, but I tell people my music is conscious trap. You know what I mean? Like, Nas was conscious trap. Jay-Z was conscious trap. You know what I mean? Like, so I think now that I'm at a space, now that my, you know, other artists are flourishing with that style, but also being from Atlanta, I just think it's the perfect time for me. No Dope on Sundays, I had to drop that in there.
Do you wish you could live a normal life?
That's a good question, Smallz. Sometimes, Smallz, I do, Smallz. I ain't even lie, bro. Because I can't even go to the grocery store. Like, you be thinking like me, okay, I'm CyHi. Like, I'm not like no platinum, like, you know, super selling artist.
Not yet.
Not yet. But I'm a dope rapper. I mean, a dope writer and a dope rapper, but I can't go nowhere without nobody asking me when my album coming out. I be like, bruh, I'm gonna set up a GoFund or something. All y'all need to come on. Hey, you know what? All the people who want to wait on my album to come out, it better do numbers. Cause all the people that have met me around the world, in Atlanta, and everywhere else, is well over 200,000-300,000 people. So I need all y'all to make sure y'all go get my album. It'll be out in 2 months. No Dope on Sundays.
What's the biggest misconception of you? What's one thing people think about you, but it's not true?
That's interesting. One thing about me, I don't like, you know, because most of the rappers these days, like, are like more intellectual rappers or, you know, hip hop artists. they're more like good guys, like went to school, probably dropped out of college, but had good grades. Like I failed every class from kindergarten to the first semester of 10th grade. Like I've never, you know, my 8th grade year, I did have a 3.2. My 8th grade year, I did have a 3.2, but I'm not no smart, artsy kid. You know, I'm not no, like these raps I'm giving you, yeah, they lyrical. You might think, oh man, this guy's like some super smart kid. No, I'm like self-taught. I taught myself really how to read, how to navigate through life. So these are real stories. These ain't nothing like, oh man, he just put a bunch of words together and making these stories up. No, like, I write my raps with God next to me. You know what I mean? So I can't lie about nothing.
Craziest rumor you heard about yourself?
Craziest rumor I heard about myself. Dang, I don't know if I really heard no crazy rumors like that.
Maybe that's a good thing.
Yeah, I don't. You know, I'm solid, Smallz. I don't really like. You know what I mean? I don't be doing too much.
You are a mystery.
You know what I mean?
There's something mysterious about the CyHi brand.
Yeah.
What question do you hate to answer?
I really don't hate to answer no questions. I mean, I don't answer questions from the police. I mean, that was one. Yeah, we don't answer none of them questions unless you know it got to do with everyday civilians.
Do you care what people think of you?
No, sir.
Why not? Some people do care.
I mean, one thing about me, Smallz, I don't want to say I've been famous, but I've been one of the most popular dudes out of Zone 6 my whole life. You can ask around Mr. Redan, you know what I'm saying, from Killer Grove to Woodridge, you know what I mean? Around here, you know what I'm saying? I knew Big Bang Black in there when I was 12, 13. You know what I mean? Like, we were moving around like that. Like, all the guys, shout out to, Eastside Jodies and, your Turtles, all of them, Sosa, you know what I'm saying? Sada Tays, all of them. So, on the East Side, I've been moving around. So, I ain't never been people done did, I've been robbed, beat up. I had to go to school one time, my eye black, my mom was like, you getting up and going to school. So I was been talked about, I always, Joan on people Joan on me. But at the end of the day, I could literally, when I was growing up, I was stopping gang fights, shootouts, everything. Because I had that much say-so in my neighborhood. I had that much cachet. Not money-wise, but like popularity or that, you know what I mean? This side said, man, don't do this right here, man. I really seen I had that gift. I was leading Little League football team from Midway Park to Redan to Central DeKalb, so I always kind of been special. People always talked about me negative or positive, but I ain't never let it get to me. But I'm a child of God. I'm always Gucci.
What about music-wise? Do you care what people think?
You know what's crazy? Everybody just tell me, he just need a hit. That's my biggest. That's the worst thing anybody ever said about me. People always tell me, man, how do you? Man, when I read your comments on World Star, you don't have no negative comments. I be like, man, I don't know how I do that. It'd be 3,000 comments. It just be don't, because I just keep it solid. I mean, if you don't like me, you probably just don't even say nothing because you knew you might not like my raps, but what I said, it was, bruh can rap. You know what I'm saying? Bruh kept it solid on the record. So I think in a nutshell, if people do say something, it's all good. It just be like people trolling and stuff.
What are your keys to success?
Staying grounded, being nice to people, being polite. I'm pretty a polite guy, and I don't be in no business that ain't mine, and work hard and practice beats talent that doesn't work hard. You know what I'm saying? So I always, try to write raps, stay consistent, and make sure I'm prepared for my moment.